Hey there stringers, Matt here from Midwest Lacrosse Company. Today I'm going to talk to you about stringing a mid-low pocket with a nice channel into a clutch elite head from Brine. This pattern will also work in a regular clutch or a clutch 2 or any other clutch super light. So one different thing that we have today, we use all special interlocks as usual, except for on our stacked special interlock we have a special stacked special interlock, which means that we do a little bit of something different in the way that we pull the second mesh piece to the outside. It eliminates some of the bumping that you get with your regular stacked interlocks. I learned this technique from a guy on Instagram called @thatkiwiguy. He's a New Zealander and he loves knots and awesome pockets and sweet channels. So credit to him for this technique, and we're gonna show you the tutorial now. Alright, so first things first, you get your string with your knot tied at the end. Make sure it's long enough. You have your 9 diamond top string done already, so we go and find our third hole down from the top. We go in through the outside and then up through the first 10 diamond row of mesh, go back through the outside of the stick and up through the mesh again. And this creates a nice little loop and pulls that top one tight. Alright, so for our first special interlock, we go down through the next mesh piece. We skip a sidewall hole to keep it tight. I'm just going to be matching the pattern I did on the other side naturally. Make sure we pull that tight. We go down through the next 10 diamond mesh piece hole, through the skip a hole and go through the next sidewall hole, and then we special interlock it again through the next piece of mesh, skip a sidewall hole and do another special interlock. Then for this one we're gonna do our special stacked special interlock. So we need to go through 2 pieces of mesh to make a stack. We'll go through, we'll skip another sidewall hole, pull it mostly tight so you can see what I'm doing here. Now we do the same thing we would for a normal stacked interlock, which is go up through that 5th piece of mesh, that second piece of mesh on this knot, and then instead of going up through the 4th mesh hole, we actually go down through it and come to the outside. And then we'll pull everything tight. What that does is pulls the mesh a little bit tighter into the outside, and it reduces the amount of bumping that you get right here. It's especially important when you're trying to tie a really tight channel. Less bump means a smoother release and a little more consistency. So again, I'll show you one more time. So we went straight up through our first and made that regular special interlock with the mesh above it. Instead of going up through it, we go down into the outside and then we pull it tight, and it creates a very special stacked interlock. Don't know what that Kiwi guy calls it. I looked through the Instagram and I couldn't find the post anymore. I don't know if he took it down, but it's a good way to go, especially for you stringers that like to get fancy out there. If you don't like to get too fancy, you can just put a regular stacked interlock there. That'll work just fine too. And now I'm just going to finish off the pocket by doing several in a row to make sure that we get our definition of our pocket down here at the bottom. So this is the 9th mesh hole that I'm going through right now, almost to the bottom of where I want to be. And then I'm going to skip 1 hole for this 10th mesh piece and special interlock it down. And then I'm going to finish it off the way I always try to do, which is to go through the outside back to the inside somehow, some way. And that keeps your whole sidewall pulled to the outside. Then you knot it off. double, pull it tight as you can, and then you check your pocket and make sure that everything looks beautiful and symmetrical, and it does. I'll grab a ball so you guys can see. And now we've got a nice deep pocket, barely legal, but once we put a throat string in, it'll be fine like that. These pockets don't move very much because they're all the way special interlock down, which is a great feature of them. And you do get a very nice channel. Nothing too crazy. I'm sure that Kiwi guy would say that my channel's not tight enough, but for function and for a lot of the kids that we string for, this is exactly what you're looking for. If you want a little more whip, throw a couple of U shooting strings in there and pull your top string shooting strings a little tighter, but that's a nice solid channel. For more, check out MidwestLacrosse.com, check out our Instagram, Midwest Lacrosse Strings, and then our Twitter and our other Instagram, which are MWLax01. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Not sure what we'll do next time, but we'll try to do something different and interesting for you.